Hi, welcome to this new tutorial. I know a lot of people struggle a bit with the circular array, so I will be teaching you how to make this one that it's works on any orientation and it's easy to control and it's very flexible because you can use it. As you can see, I can move it to a different location and it will still work. We can control the amount of copies here. We can control the height or the distance from the surface and the radius. And I will teach you how to do that. So let's get started. Now we will use, in this case, we will try this with a sphere. Scale it down. Apply scale. Then we will activate snapping, face, median. Align rotation to target and grab. We will create an empty and shift select the object, Control P, and we will parent without inverse. That will bring the empty to the parent, but keeping the transformations. So if we select the empty, you will see that everything is like when it started at 0. That's what we want, because we want to control the rotation on Z-axis. If this has any, like for example with the sphere here that it's transformed, if you rotate at Z, it doesn't work because we want the movement aligned to this face. That's why we use that way of parenting. Now what we want to do is to select the sphere again, go to modifiers and add a displace modifier. Instead of displacing along the normal, we want to displace not on the Z axis, but on the X or Y. We want to move it away from the center, and the display doesn't move the object. The object origin will remain at the same place. Let me show you. X, and we control the radius with this strength now. As you can see, the object origin didn't change. So if we rotate this, it will rotate around the object origin. That's what we want also. That's why we use this. We will use an array. We don't want a relative offset of X, Y, or Z. We want an object offset. In this case, we will select the empty. And if we move this empty, if we rotate on the Z-axis, you will see how this begins to work. Now what we want to do to make this automatic, we will use this count here. We will copy as a new driver. We will go to the empty, and on the rotation on the Z axis, we will paste it here. That will make, at this point, it's taking the 2, that it's our count, and converting it with radians to degrees. So we have 2 radians rotation. We will edit this driver, and we will change this to script expression. That will let us change a bit add a bit of math to it. So we have a variable that gives us the number of counts. What we will do is to divide 360 degrees by the number of counts or copies that we have. To do this, we will 360 degrees equals 2 times pi radians. So that's what we are going to put here. 2 times pi divided by the number of counts we have, and we hit enter. So at this point we have 2 copies, and it divides by 2 the 360, so that's what we get there. And now we will go back to our object modifier. If we change the count, it will automatically distribute along the circle there. So now we can control the amount of copies here, and we can control the radius there. Okay. We will add one more thing that I think it's important. Another displace. Not as, in this case, we want the displace on the z-axis. And we will set this to 0. And now you control the distance from the surface with this value here. If you press Shift, it will move slower, so you can control it better. Okay. And now, if you select the object, not the empty, you can grab with G and move it wherever you want. It will snap to the surface, and you can still control everything there. That's it. I will show you now, if you want to stay, I will show you how you can add those parameters to control them all in one place with custom properties. So let's do that now. We will go to the object properties here, selecting the object, go to custom properties, add, edit, and this one I will call it circular array radius, and I want this. Okay, we will leave it. This is the limits. You can limit at whatever you want here. Okay, a new one, edit. This will be copies. We will change this because we don't need the fraction. We want integers only. So I will set it to 1. And we can set the minimum to 1 and the maximum, I don't know, to 20 for now. Okay. And the last one. And we will call it height. 0 to 1, that's fine. Okay. Now we will take the copies, right click, copy as new driver. We will go to the modifiers tab, copies array, and in the count we will paste this, paste driver. We will do the same for height, copy as new driver. We control that here, paste driver. And the last one, radius, copy as new driver, and here, paste driver. Okay, so now, if we go to the object, and you go to properties here, if you don't see this panel, you can activate it with N, and I am on item tab, and here you can now control the radius, height, we'll set it at 0, radius, and amount of copies, and you can still move it around, change the amount of copies, the radius, and the distance from the surface. You can also change that to negative if you want. You go here, edit, and you can set it to -1 here if you want. Okay, now it goes -2. And that's it. I hope you have liked this tutorial. Remember to check my shops and Patreon account if you want to help me keep going with these tutorials. And thanks for watching. See you on the next video.